everybody, welcome to today's video. So today is all about dads. So something that I've noticed as I'm doing a lot of research on the social emotional learning topics and early childhood development is we do talk a lot about moms. And while moms definitely deserve that recognition coming from a mom myself, it often leaves dads in the background almost like they're supporting characters in their own family's stories, where the truth is that dads actually matter a lot. Children thrive when fathers are engaged, they gain confidence, they learn problem solving, and they build a strong foundation for relationships later in life. So, this presentation is moving beyond the idea that dads are just providers. It's also celebrating fathers as nurturers, as role models, and as essential partners in raising the next generation. When it comes to fatherhood, there are a lot of myths floating around. These are ideas that have been passed down for generations, but they don't really hold up when we look at the research or the lived experiences of families today. The first one is that childcare is the mother's job. So children actually thrive when caregiving responsibilities are shared. When dad steps in, it lowers stress for the child and strengthens social emotional skills like cooperation, emotional control. Dads don't just help out, but they actually make a measurable difference in their child's development. The next thing is dads should be harsh disciplinarians, kind of like you'll see it in TV shows or in some families, or it's like, you just wait till your father gets home. Um, and this one is definitely a deep running myth. But discipline doesn't need to be harsh or fear based. Research shows that kids develop stronger self control and empathy when fathers use calm, consistent guidance instead of punishment. It's not about instilling fear, but it's about teaching through connection. The next myth is that providing means only financial support. And you'll hear this one a lot among men, especially. And yes, providing for your family financially is important, but children need more than just money. They also need your time, your presence, and your emotional investment. Engaged fathers are strongly linked with higher self esteem and resilience in their children, and providing can look very different than our stereotypical idea of what provision means. And the last myth is that dads don't know how to nurture. So, nurturing isn't something that's just written in our DNA, it's something that we learn through practice. Warm and responsive dads form secure attachments with their kids just like moms do. Every diaper change, every bedtime story, and every hug is a chance to build on that bond. And for the dads out there that are like, I just don't know how, start looking towards the people in your life that you would think are good nurturers and try to learn from them. It's not impossible as a dad to be able to nurture your child just as well as their mom does. When we think about the history of human survival, we usually picture hunters, gatherers, and communities working together to beat the odds. But a piece of the story that often goes overlooked is the role of fathers in human survival. Early humans lived in very dangerous environments, and child mortality was very high. Survival wasn't guaranteed for these children, and in that setting, fathers transitioned from being distant providers to actually involved parents. So they were caregivers, protectors, and teachers of survival skills. Unlike most other mammals, human fathers defended their families, they provided food, and even comforted the infants. Their involvement gave children a better chance of not only surviving, but thriving. Over time, this became part of what researchers call cooperative breeding. Families worked together to raise children, and fathers became a part of the safety net. They weren't just passing on their genetics anymore, but they were investing their time, their care, and their presence. And that active role was revolutionary because back then we actually had an extreme dip in the human species. And when fathers started their active involvement, the human population actually boomed. And so there's a strong correlation between the active role of fathers and the successful population of humans that we have today. And so if it wasn't for fathers being involved in the family, there's a strong correlation between that and us successfully being where we're at. And so when I say revolutionary, I definitely mean it. And the fascinating part with all of this too, with the father's involvement, is that biology actually backs this up as well. So studies show that when men become fathers, their bodies change physically. Usually the mothers are going through the physical changes through pregnancy and hormones, but it actually does affect men as well. So one thing that happens is men's testosterone levels drop, which I know for our guys out there that like to work out and get gains, that they're like, oh my God, no, that's scary, don't do that. But it is very important for what you need to go through as you become a father. It's actually a beautiful thing that your body does to help you bond with the baby. Um, but the drop in testosterone does support nurturing behaviors. And some expectant dads even show pregnancy like symptoms. You may have heard the term like sympathetic pregnancy symptoms. So they might even gain weight or have changes in sleep. And it's almost as if evolution built us to be hands on parents, built dads to be hands on nurturers due to those biological changes. And that's something that's actually incredibly rare in the animal kingdom. And the impact is enormous. Involved fathers help children develop resilience, learn social skills, and adapt to the world around them. That foundation supported culture and complex social structures that make us human. And so when we talk about fatherhood, we're also not just talking about the modern idea or social expectation of fatherhood, but the actual impact that hands on dads have and how that was a key factor to the survival of our species as a whole. So let's go ahead and bring all of this into focus. So, why do dads matter so much? Well, the research is clear. Children with engaged fathers show stronger emotional regulation, higher self esteem, and better problem solving skills. Involved dads don't just impact kids, but they also reduce maternal stress and strengthen the entire family unit. And it's not about doing anything fancy. In daily routines, reading bedtime stories, kicking a ball around, or even helping with chores, dads are teaching empathy, trust, and self control. Kids are also learning how to handle frustration, how to cooperate, and how to connect. And the encouraging part of all of this is that it doesn't take hours every day to make a difference. Even 10 minutes of intentional play or conversation with your child creates a measurable impact. 10 minutes of your focused attention can shape their confidence, their sense of security, and their ability to thrive. So when we say that dads matter, we don't mean in some abstract symbolic way. We mean in concrete, everyday actions that ripple through a child's development for years to come. And we are going to break this down step by step with action tools for dads. I know dads like to have something concrete that they can use, so don't worry, we are going to get to that. So, fatherhood doesn't begin on the day that your child is born, it starts much earlier. Babies can actually recognize voices in the womb, and so when dads talk, sing, or read to the belly, they're creating familiarity and comfort that carries into infancy. That voice becomes a source of safety from day one. And here's something powerful is that when dads are involved during pregnancy, it doesn't just support the mom emotionally. It lowers her stress and that directly benefits the baby's brain development and future emotional regulation. So in other words, by showing up for your partner while they're pregnant, you're already shaping your child's well-being. And this doesn't have to be complicated. You can read a children's book aloud to the belly. You can attend prenatal appointments and ask questions about baby's growth, and even something as simple as placing your hand on mom's belly while you speak to the baby links your voice to your touch. And these small intentional moments are the first building blocks of your relationship with your child. They remind us that fatherhood is not a switch that flips at birth. It's a role that you can start embracing from the very beginning. Now, once your baby arrives, the role of becoming a dad becomes even more tangible. Infants thrive when fathers provide consistent, warm caregiving. So, responding to cries, holding and soothing isn't just comforting, but it also builds trust. And that trust becomes the foundation for secure attachment and supports emotional regulation as your child grows. And biology is on your side, like we talked about earlier. Research shows that new fathers experience hormonal changes, lower testosterone, and higher oxytocin that help make you more sensitive and responsive to your baby's needs. Your body is literally doing the work to help you bond. And there are simple, powerful ways to engage. So, skin to skin contact after birth promotes bonding and even helps regulate your baby's heartbeat and breathing. Sharing caregiving responsibilities like feeding, if you guys are doing bottle feeding. If you're not and the baby's solely breastfeeding, then participating with the burping and helping with bedtime routines because that also strengthens connections. And narrating every activities to the baby. Talking to the baby is awesome. And so, for example, if you're giving the baby a bath, like, oh, I'm washing your toes now. So it supports early language development and builds closeness because while you were talking to the baby in the womb, the baby is very comfortable with your voice and it's a safe voice for them. And so you talking to them and sharing that voice with them is really important. And the takeaway from this is really just that your presence matters during this stage. Every touch, every word, and action lays the groundwork for a lifetime of emotional health and trust. And now toddlerhood, which from what I've heard, um, I haven't done a survey. Maybe I should do a survey. Um, Dads love toddlerhood, let me tell you. And as a toddler mom, it is so fun. It is such a fun age. So as children enter toddlerhood, something interesting often happens. Around 18 to 24 months, many children start to show a clear preference for spending time with their fathers, especially during play and exploration. Now, this doesn't mean that mom's not needed. Mom is definitely needed and still important. It's a normal part of development and shows that children can recognize different caregiving roles. One of the ways that dads uniquely connect at this stage is through playful, rough and tumble games. So, gentle wrestling, chasing, or play fighting isn't just fun, but it helps toddlers manage emotions, practice self control, and safely assess risk. It's also a powerful way to teach social cues, strengthen your bond, and boost your child's confidence. Everyday moments can become playful learning opportunities, so turning chores into games or competitions, using calm redirection instead of just saying no, engaging in gentle roughhousing to teach boundaries and self control, and even brief bursts of energetic problem solving or exploratory play can foster skills that toddlers specifically seek from their dads. By leaning into these playful, intentional moments, dads provide experiences that shape resilience, emotional regulation, and confidence, all while having fun together. I cannot stress enough just how important play in fatherhood really is. So, ages 2 to 3, I'm still considering this toddlerhood. Um, So, ages 2 to 3, children are discovering more independence, but they still definitely rely on dads for guidance, emotional support, and co regulation. The time that you spend with your child matters. Intentional play helps them practice self control, empathy, problem solving, and social skills. And your presence provides stability, models healthy behavior, and strengthens the father child bond. Dad can lead both structured and unstructured play sessions, bringing energy and creativity and problem solving challenges that children are seeking from their fathers. So, building block towers or doing puzzles together, playing pretend games like superheroes or animals or monster trucks. My son's a monster truck guy. But they help spark imagination, going on walks together, creating obstacle courses. Those help to explore movement and coordination. Turn-taking games like rolling a ball back and forth, or Simon Says, that's going to be more of like your 3-year-old. They teach patience and cooperation, and even little mini adventures at homes. So, building forts together, going on treasure hunts or scavenger hunts. Those encourage problem solving and exploration. And by making play intentional, fathers provide more than just fun. They create moments that teach skills, nurture emotional regulation, and strengthen the bond that will carry into childhood and beyond. So, from ages 3 to 4, kids are starting to step into a wider social world. They're starting to interact with peers, and fathers definitely play an important role as social role models. Your words, actions, and responses shows kids how to cooperate, negotiate, and practice empathy. These are skills that help them navigate friendships and social roles. And play, again, play is so important. Play becomes an incredible vehicle for growth at this stage. Dads often engage in imaginative or active play that challenges children to plan, share, and solve problems. Even something as simple as building a project or playing a board game together teaches turn taking, patience, and creative problem solving. You can also model important social skills, showing how to apologize, how to resolve conflicts calmly. Those are really important skills. Praising effort and cooperation rather than just outcomes. Um, and reading interactive stories where children act out characters' choices gives them a safe space to practice empathy and decision making. These moments of guided play and social modeling help children to develop cognitive and emotional skills that will serve them throughout life, while also deepening your connection with them as their father. So by ages 4 to 5, this is when children are really testing boundaries and exploring independence, but they still need dads for guidance, reassurance, and encouragement. Active dad involvement at this stage helps children to build confidence, make decisions, and develop emotional resilience. Your presence provides a safe base that they can use to try new tasks and take healthy risks, knowing that dad has their back. Fathers also play a key role in social emotional learning. You're helping your child develop planning skills, responsibility, empathy, and self control. Your engagement models curiosity, persistence, and problem solving skills that they carry into school and their relationships with other kids. There's a lot of simple ways to support this. At this stage, you can start assigning small responsibilities like carrying their backpack on the way to school or helping you set the table to help foster independence. You can also encourage storytelling to reflect on feelings and experiences, doing like short projects together. Maybe it's like building something, cooking together, gardening together, um, or maybe just doing a hobby together. But these teach planning, teamwork, and patience, playing what if games to explore decision making and coping with challenges in a fun and low stress way. By showing up intentionally, dads are providing their kids with the foundation for self confidence, they're giving guidance, and they're providing emotional tools that prepare children for school, friendships, and life outside of the home. Now, being a father isn't always easy. Many dads face stress from work, fatigue, and uncertainty about caregiving. During tough times, it's common to feel like you're falling short of providing or protecting your family, and those feelings can definitely impact your engagement and the overall harmony of the home. The good news is that even brief, consistent moments of connection can make a big difference. Fathers provide and protect not just through finances, but also through modeling calm communication, providing guidance, and supporting the family's emotional needs. Learning to express your own needs clearly also helps the whole family function better. It builds trust and cooperation within the family unit. And there's simple ways to put this into action. So you can use transition moments like dropping off at daycare, picking up from school, getting down for bedtime to just check in with the whole family. Use that opportunity to connect. And creating small family rituals that everybody can count on. Maybe at the end of the week, all you want to do is sit down with your family, you know, eat eat a pizza and watch a movie, and you know, everybody knows Friday is family movie night. Um, Something small that you guys can do to just be together. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then modeling calm problem solving and communication so your kids can learn how to express their feelings. Demonstrating reliability by taking on small leadership roles in the family, handling everyday challenges. Those are also definitely important. And they model reliability and responsibility for your kids. And it's not just about being physically present. Quality, engagement, connection, and consistency definitely matter a lot more than just showing up. Every intentional moment strengthens your bond and strengthens the family unit. Oh my goodness. And so, what is that impact on the family unit that fathers have? Well, dads don't just influence their children, but they help the entire family thrive. Active paternal involvement reduces maternal stress, strengthens co parenting, and creates a healthier environment for the kids. When dads are engaged, everybody in the family benefits. Dads bring something unique to the table: energy, playfulness, and problem solving approaches that children often seek out. Your presence enhances emotional security and models healthy adult child interactions that shape relationships for years to come. There are practical ways to put this into action every day, taking full ownership of one caregiving routine, whether it's bath time, breakfast, or bedtime, supporting your partner by sharing daily responsibilities, helping reduce stress and create balance. Engage in family rituals, so meals, bedtime routines, or weekend activities to strengthen connection and create predictable, meaningful moments together. By intentionally showing up in these ways, fathers make the family stronger, happier, and more resistant, and they model what healthy relationships look like. So, this next one is just dad's tool belt, right? Kind of an overview of the things that we've talked about, but stuff that is always available to you. That intentional one-on-one time with your kids, dedicating even brief periods of time to just be intentionally interacting with your children. Leading through play. Play is so important for dads. That is the primary vessel through which you and your child are connecting. Consistent routines and rituals. Consistency is really important, especially for kids. Um, and so having that and modeling that for your family. Labeling and reflecting. One of the things that definitely comes up a lot is like, oh, like feelings, ew, gross, right? Your kids are gonna have feelings whether we want them to or not, right? Um, and so as dad, you take that opportunity to teach, right? To teach and connect. So you label the feelings, reflect what they're saying, because this also helps to raise more self-aware and empathetic children. Um, Leading by example, modeling healthy communication and problem solving with your child and your family. Show how to express needs, because dads have needs too. And if dads are pretty good about expressing what those needs are, it sets the tone for your children as they grow up. And consistent presence. So that's your reliability, being available to your child and to your family. It's all of these skills do not have to be a big thing. They just have to be mindful. Um, and you know, I bet you a lot of you guys are already doing a lot of this stuff. Just be very intentional with the tools that you are using when you're connecting with your kids and with your family. Now, another thing that is important, dads, is taking care of yourself. Fatherhood comes with a lot of pressure. Many dads feel like they always need to provide and be strong and put their family's needs first. And while carrying those responsibilities is important, is an important part of fatherhood, it can leave little room for rest, support, or personal well-being. The truth is that taking care of yourself is not selfish. but it's essential. When you prioritize your own health, both body and mind, you show up stronger, more patient, and more present for your family. We cannot give what we do not have. And so if you are running yourself far too thin, you cannot show up in the way that you probably want to, right? And so making choices like eating well, moving your body, and getting rest are all really important forms of self care, no matter how small they seem. Connection definitely matters too. So this is spending time with maybe with other dads, reminding you that you're not alone in this fatherhood journey, sharing stories, advice, or even just laughing together to lighten the load. And definitely don't underestimate the power of talking. So have conversations with your partner, um, maybe friends that you feel comfortable being vulnerable with, or a trusted person like a therapist, um, to reduce stress and strengthen relationships. Talking things out helps keep small worries from building up into bigger challenges. And definitely ease up on yourself. Parenting does not come with a perfect playbook. Mistakes are part of the process, and giving yourself credit for your daily effort models compassion and resilience for your children. I would say start talking to yourself the way that you hope that your children would talk to themselves when they're adults. And self-care is not a luxury, it is a foundation. Your well-being matters, and investing in yourself also invests in the rest of the family. You cannot do all of the wonderful fatherhood things that you need to do if you do not have the capacity. And so you have to take care of yourself, dads. You have to. You cannot just take care of the family. You are part of that unit. And as usual, we have our resources. So we have First Five Calaveras. That is your primary source for everything ages 0 to 5. That's connecting with resources, if that's getting some education, if that's participating in groups, getting that connection. I think sometimes, I believe that they have a father's group, and so I would definitely check that out. The resource connection, so that definitely helps with childcare needs, getting those resources for the family. Women, infants, and children. Um, Now, to my knowledge, fathers can qualify for this too, especially our single dads that are taking care of their kids. Um, it's not solely for women, and that's nutritional support. And so, if you're in need of help with food and getting nutritional support, that's a wonderful resource. Sesame Workshop, so that just has some activities for dads and kids, and the 0 to 3 as well. Just some informative resources and some activities that dads can do with their children. Head Start California for early learning, and of course, Nexus Youth and Family Services. Our 0 to 5 programs include we have Heart Smart Kids, the parent and provider cafes. We have Heart Smart Kids Active Parenting in the first 5 years. That's actually a parenting class for ages 0 to 5, for parents of ages 0 to 5. Everybody's like, oh my God, there's no manual for it, or you buy the parenting books and they're just extensive and time consuming. Um, and I don't know about you, I learn better when somebody's teaching me, right? And so this parenting class is specifically for parents of young children. And the parents of young children, I'm sure you're finding that you are learning a lot as you go, and sometimes it would be helpful to have, well, some help with that. So we have a program for that through our parenting classes, and then we also have our PCIT and PC Care program, that's Parent-Child Interactive Therapy for challenging behaviors for little ones. And then if you are in need of support yourself, if you are in Calaveras County, you have Calaveras County Behavioral Health and Amador County Behavioral Health. That's Medi-Cal services for mental health needs. And if you wouldn't mind filling out our surveys, this definitely helps us tailor what we're doing to who we're serving. So go ahead and give those a scan and fill them out for me. And thank you so much for sticking with it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can find us in Jackson or Valley Springs, and we hope to catch you at an in-person workshop. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.